Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project panning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. Yes, there's chaos happening behind me, but we are going to pretend it's not there. I have some vegetables and dip there, and my tablet, and then I have my son's stuff. And he is actually, I'm just gonna lower this a hint, but he is out of the bedroom at the moment, and my husband is with him, so I just left his stuff where it is, and I just wanted to film a video real quick because it actually goes up, today's the 2nd, so it goes up in 2 days. And I want to make sure that I have it up and ready. So we're going to do the Eyes Project Pan, which was created by Deb B here on YouTube. And it runs from January 4th to December 31st. So almost a full year. And it updates on the 4th of each month. And then, of course, at the end of the year. Or you can do it the January 4th of the following month if you want. But essentially, there's no rules. It's super chill, super calm. You can use as many palettes as you want or as little palettes as you want. It's just you talk about them, and essentially you're supposed to do a peek and a pit. I don't always do that because I sometimes only pick 2 or 3 palettes, and it's kind of hard to pick between that. And especially if they're both really comparable and good, there's really no peak or pit, so sometimes I just don't even bother. But that is something that you should be doing if you're going to do this project. That's all she asks really for, like, rules or guidelines or whatever. But Deb is like super easygoing. She just wants to have people have fun, take part, and like have a good time. So for the month of June, I brought in 2 eyeshadow palettes. This one is the Empowered from Huda Beauty, and I brought this with me when I went traveling for work. And I enjoyed this because it's a little neutral leaning warm. Like, it's a lot more warm on this side actually, but there's a little bit of coolness happening over here. And it's a really nice palette. It's not a one and done for me. I definitely do need a really light brow bone shade, and there is no shimmery brow bone shade in here. And I'm not, like, I can't put one color all the way up to my brow bone because I just have way too much space there. So it's not like I have a lower brow where I can just avoid that. I have to have that because it's just a step I need to do. Otherwise it's going to look like I have a lot of eyeshadow all the way up to my brow bone. But for the most part, this palette is really beautiful. I do love the gold shades in this palette. I really enjoy this beautiful shimmer. However, I feel like it's like a slightly slippy, and it can look a little thick and chunky on the skin. So like when you're wearing it, it looks like you have a lot of thickness on your lid. Like it just kind of clumps. So that's not the greatest. And then this one here is super slippery because it's got that slick in the center that's supposed to make this look like super wet. And although it does make it look super wet, it just kind of slides all over. It's right here. It's a really nice soft shade though. You get a little bit of warmth when there's no glare on it. And then when you hit the light, it gives you that really nice shine, just like a highlighter. And then of course my shades here are starting to dry out a little bit. I really need to start using those more. I wish they had little caps on them. It would have been nice if they were like longer and closer together, and then there could have been like just one little clear sleeve that went over top of those 2, but it is what it is. It's not like a necessity for me to have that, but if you're going to have a cream in an eyeshadow palette that has a bunch of powders, you have to do something to make sure that they don't dry out, because otherwise it's a waste. But the rest of the palette is really, really nice. For me, it's a little too warm. I do love warmth because I have blue eyes, and I have, of course, like red hair, or copper hair. But I just feel like it's a little too warm. So I may eventually get the latest Huda palette. I can't remember what it's called, but I may get that. But the golds are just stunning. Stunning, stunning colors. I believe the Charisma one is my favorite, this really strong one here. I think this is the one that I like the most out of the 2. Pretty sure. Let me just put them on. Yeah, Charisma is the one I like the most because this other one is very clumpy. This one is just beautiful. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the other one that's called Limitless is just a little too clumpy for my liking. It's very similar to the Bold Moves shade down here. And it's, like I said, just a little too clumpy. But all in all, it's a nice palette. Is it my favorite? No. But it's a good palette. So there's that. And then the last one I brought in was, of course, MAC Power Hungry. This one has been consistent in my usage for the pretty much the entire part of the year. I'm using this for 2 shades, and I will talk about those now. So this is what the palette looks like, and as you can see, I have massive, massive pan. I am so pumped. I literally hit pan the next day after my last update with this. I could not believe it, and I have just been making it bigger every single day because I use this every time I do my makeup. And then this shade down here, this is the one that I use to, like, I put a nice dark crease shade, and then I use this to like blend that out into the brow bone shade, which is this one. So these are the 2 that I use in this area, and then I have like a shimmery one for my under my brow bone. But I have been really enjoying those 2 shades. I'll be really upset when those are gone. I'm not sure I'm going to keep the remainder of the palette. I don't think I really have a need for it. So I may pass it on to somebody who likes neutral eyeshadow. And I think I have someone in mind for that already if they're interested, because sometimes when you use up colors, some people don't really want to have a palette that has empty shades in it. But I'll see anyway, because I would really like these other shades to get used. They are really nice. It's just they're too soft for me. So those are the 2. This one will be staying in always, but I won't talk about it next month. But those 2 essentially will be going back into my collection, even though one I'll be continuing on with. And then for the month of July, I'm bringing in 2 eyeshadow palettes. The first one is the Adept Cosmetics Minka eyeshadow palette. And the reason I want to bring this in is because the formula dries out really fast, and I want to get more use on it. And it's an absolutely stunning, 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 stunning eyeshadow palette. Absolutely gorgeous. I do want to swatch this, this gold, like this darker gold. I wish it was a super, super bright yellow gold as well in here, but look at that in comparison to the Huda ones. It's just, there's no contest of how effective it is just with a tiny little swatch. Oh my gosh, this is just like, even my finger just looks, oh, it's so gorgeous. Okay, I also want to swatch the shade Emma and the shade Layla, which is also gold, because I want you to see, in comparison to the Huda palette, just what I mean when I say these are like show-stopping, absolutely gorgeous eyeshadow palettes that, like, no contest. But again, these are not like, oh my God, are you kidding me right now? Seriously, Adept Cosmetics, like, what is happening? These are so gorgeous. But if I could have a shade like this, a little more golden in one of these, that would be so great. But you can really see that this one has a bit of a gold undertone, but it's more of a champagne gold, and this one's more of a cool tone gold. I don't even know if that's like how to best describe it, but that's just what I'm seeing, is like almost a silvery gold. But anyways, absolutely adore this eyeshadow palette. I had to blow that up because there's just a little bit of kick up, but absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to put this on. I'm like, I can't stop smiling because this palette is just so gorgeous. You guys know Adept Cosmetics is my +1. Obsessed. I love every single palette. I wish I owned every single palette, but I just can't afford to keep up with the releases. And at probably almost closer to $200 with shipping and exchange for Canada and potential duty, it's just too much for every single eyeshadow palette. So I will only be buying the ones that I feel like I really, really need, and I'm not going to be buying every single eyeshadow release. So the next one is for Pat McGrath Labs, and it is the Mothership Bronze Seduction. I'm just gonna close, if I can close this stupid case. I hate, you know what, I hate the way these close. But anyways, this is what this is what it looks like, and it's the most gorgeous artwork ever. I love it. I need an eyeshadow this color and this strong right here, this gold. But this is absolutely beautiful, and the reason I wanted to bring it in is because it's a little softer, it's a little more fall, honestly, but it also gives you those pops with these brighter shades in the corner here. And it also gives you that little bit of softness in this like little caramel area here. This is very similar to the shade that I'm already working on in my eyeshadow palette for the year. So this is quite similar with like this eyeshadow, and this eyeshadow. But I feel like it would pair really well with what I have going on in that. So that's the reason I'm bringing it in. Will I get a lot of use on this? Probably not, but I definitely wanted to bring it in for at least a month. But I think that's everything. Is there gold in here? No, there's no gold, unfortunately. But that is everything I'm bringing in for July. If I do want to bring anything else in, oh my god, it just looked like a mess. I will bring something else in then if I feel like it, and then I'll talk to you guys about it on the next update. But for now, I think I'm really happy with everything that I'm bringing in. Plus, I have a ton of other items that are in projects, and also my Pan That palette, which I'm trying to focus on heavily because I really want to get that done this year. It would be nice to have an eyeshadow palette out, but it's taking me a really long time, and I'm realizing I don't really need to have every single eyeshadow palette that comes out because there's no way I'm going to get through them, and it's just money wasted down the drain. So even the Chucky collection is coming out from Glamlight, and I really want it because Chucky's my favorite, like Child's Play is my favorite series of movies ever. I love it so much, and I've been obsessed with watching it since, like, oh my god, when I was young. I was like 11, 12, 13 years old, buying scary movies from the movie store and watching them by myself on the weekends because I just thought they were so cool, and I loved the, prosthetics and makeup and all that kind of stuff, and I was just like so here for it. And getting older and seeing brands come out with these like, nostalgic, spooky themed, horror themed like collections, especially Child's Play and Chucky, is like, I want it so bad, but I don't need another highlighter. I don't need more lip products. I don't need the eyeshadow palette. It's got colors in there that I have plethora of. And I don't know. I'm like hemming and hawing. Like, I'm still leaning 60-40 of like buying it, but at the same time, I'm just not sure I need it. So same thing with eyeshadows. I'm really trying to not just bring stuff in for the sake of bringing stuff in. And in fact, it's getting easier and easier for me to declutter. And this project has really helped me sift through things that I just have loved and just have not enjoyed. And so I really recommend you try this project out if you are thinking about it. It is so easy and so much fun, and honestly one of my very favorite projects ever. And even if Deb decides not to continue this in the future, I will still do my own because I just adore this style so much more than a Pan That palette, honestly. But kudos to you guys who can do that. I just am not a fan of Pan That palettes. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like and subscribe. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!